Hi, I'm Melissa White, and I am the pastry sous chef at the Atlanta Ohana floor. And today I'm going to demonstrate a vegan galette recipe for you that will be available on our #Salesforce Culinary channel. So first we're gonna start by making our vegan galette dough. So here I have some locally milled flour from our friends at Carolina Ground, based in North Carolina. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to our mixing bowl. Next, I'm going to add some salt, some sugar, and then I'm just gonna take those dry ingredients. I'm just gonna whisk real quick just to get everything incorporated. Then I also have some apple cider vinegar. And to that, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of chilled water. And we are going to go ahead and take our vegan butter, and I have it cubed to about like 1/2 inch dice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and you can add all of the butter to your flour. And I'm just gonna take my hands and I'm going to break apart our vegan butter into pieces into our flour. And then we're just going to see, you can see the texture here. We still have some bigger pieces in here, so that's going to keep our dough nice and flaky. So once it starts to look like this, we can go ahead and add in our water and vinegar mixture. So I'm going to mix it around while I'm adding in our water. And just using your hands, I'm just gonna press the dough together. I'm just trying to get all of the flour hydrated and get it into one solid piece. Just make sure all of our flour is absorbed, just kneading it a little bit in the bowl. Next, I'm just gonna take this to the cutting board and we're just going to press our dough into a rounded puck here. All right. And we're just going to flatten this into about 1 inch thickness. All right, and then next we're going to need to chill the dough. All right, so while our dough is chilling, we're gonna go ahead and prepare our strawberry filling. We are going to combine some granulated sugar, and then to that we're going to add the zest of 1 lemon. I want to flavor mine today. I have a little bit of ras al hanout I'm going to add. And we also have just about like 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. That goes really nicely with strawberries, black pepper and strawberries. And then I also have about 1/4 vanilla bean, but I'm just going to rub the lemon zest and the vanilla beans into the sugar to infuse it with flavor. And then for the last part, we have 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And then I'm just going to go ahead and whisk all of these together. And then we can go ahead and set that aside. And next we will go ahead and prepare our strawberries. I'm gonna trim the stem off and then cut it into slices, not too thin so that the strawberry will still retain some of its structure when it's cooking. And these strawberries are local. They come from a farm in Georgia called the Strawberry Patch in Reynolds, Georgia. And you could very easily use any other kind of fruit, whatever is in season, and substitute it instead of the strawberries. All right, so we have all of our strawberries cut now. So we're just gonna go ahead and set this aside while we roll out our dough. So I have some dough here that has already been chilling in the refrigerator. So we're gonna roll this out onto a sheet of parchment just to make it a little bit easier for us to transfer our galette onto a baking sheet. I'm going to sprinkle some of our all-purpose flour so that we can roll it out a little bit easier. And then we're going to take our rolling pin and we are going to roll the dough out about 12 inches to 14 inches in diameter. Okay, so once we get to the thickness of about like 1/4 inch, we can go ahead and combine our cut strawberries and our sugar. So next we're going to take the strawberries and we're going to put them in the very center of our dough. So I'm just going to go ahead and mound the strawberries up, because as the galette cooks, the strawberries are going to shrink. And this was about 2 pounds of strawberries. And I'm just going to keep about a 2-inch ring around the perimeter of the strawberries. And we're going to take our dough and we're going to fold it up onto the strawberries. And then we're just going to go ahead and pleat the sides so that they overlap, going upwards just to contain all of the strawberries. I'm just pressing the dough onto itself so that it sticks together. With the vegan butter, it's pretty sticky, so it should just go ahead and stick to itself. Right? And again, this is a more rustic presentation, so don't worry if the pleats aren't perfectly symmetrical. And then now we can go ahead and transfer the galette onto our baking sheet. So I'm just going to put it on the side of our cutting board here and just slide it over. Okay. And then next we're going to go ahead and use some oat milk and a pastry brush. And we're just going to go ahead and brush the edges of the galette with the oat milk. So this is going to help with browning on the outside. It's also going to help this turbinado sugar I have that we're going to sprinkle on, help that adhere to the crust as well. And then we're going to take some turbinado sugar and sprinkle it onto the dough. It's going to add some shine, it's going to add some crunch, and just like a little on the strawberries as well. And now our galette is ready to go ahead and be put into our oven. So we are going to put this into a preheated oven at 400 degrees. We will be using a preheated pizza stone. If you don't have a pizza stone, another sheet pan also works really great. And we will bake that for about 25 minutes. All right, and this is our finished vegan galette. So this is a great plant-based recipe that you can use your seasonal ingredients to their full advantage. This would be great served with a scoop of vanilla ice cream or some creme fraiche. Yeah. So enjoy it with people you care about.